In the NBA Finals, every game feels like a turning point. And in Game 5, after the incredible back and forth we've seen, it felt like the momentum could swing dramatically either way. The Indiana Pacers, known for their relentless rallies, tried to pull off another one Monday night, cutting an 18-point first-half deficit all the way down to just 2 points in the fourth quarter. It felt like another one of those magical Pacers moments was brewing. But this time, Indiana's rally fell short. This time, the Oklahoma City Thunder did not relent, and they held on for a crucial 120-109 win in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. With this gritty victory, the Thunder now take a commanding 3-2 series lead, and they stand just one win away from securing the franchise's first NBA championship since it moved to Oklahoma City. And for this win, they have one man, more than anyone else, to largely thank: Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams, the playoff career night. Jalen Williams, the third-year forward, absolutely exploded for a playoff career-high 40 points on Monday night. He added 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal, leading Oklahoma City to another incredibly hard-fought finals win. His superstar teammate, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, joined him with a big night of his own, pouring in 31 points, 10 assists, and 4 blocks. But this was Jalen Williams' night to shine. This was the third straight game in which Williams has scored at least 26 points, showing a remarkable consistency and escalation of his game on the biggest stage. His buckets in Game 5 were absolutely massive and repeatedly thwarted the Pacers' efforts to take control of the game. Every time Indiana tried to make it close, none of his baskets were bigger than a clutch three-pointer with just 8:06 remaining in the fourth quarter. You see, Pascal Siakam had just drained a three on the other end, slicing Oklahoma City's lead to a terrifying 95-93. It instantly resurrected those painful memories of the Thunder's Game 1 collapse, where they blew a huge lead and allowed the Pacers to take a stunning 1-0 series lead right here in their home arena. The Paycom Center crowd was on edge. In response, Williams attacked the bucket, missed a tough layup in traffic, but Cason Wallace secured the offensive rebound, a huge play right there, and the ball quickly made its way back to Williams on the right wing. This time, he didn't miss. Williams drilled a huge three-pointer to extend Oklahoma City's lead back to 5 points. And a subsequent Cason Wallace steal and layup pushed it to 100-97, forcing an Indiana timeout. From that moment on, the Pacers never truly threatened again. Haliburton's worrying night. The reason the Pacers couldn't sustain their rally? A huge part of it was the incredibly concerning performance from their star guard, Tyrese Haliburton, who was a non-factor while clearly playing on an injured right calf. Haliburton visibly struggled through the first quarter, missing the only 2 shots he attempted and finishing scoreless. He even left briefly for the locker room after that first quarter, returning with a wrap around his right calf. ESPN's Shams Charania reported at halftime that Haliburton was dealing with calf tightness. While Haliburton continued to play and appeared to move relatively well despite the injury after returning, he was clearly not on his game. He finished the first half scoreless after missing all 5 of his field goal attempts. He didn't score his first points until a pair of free throws with 7:07 remaining in the third quarter. Ultimately, Haliburton finished with a shocking 4 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. He was 0 for 6 from the field and took just 1 single attempt after halftime. His status moving forward will be the single most significant storyline as the series now shifts back to Indiana for Game 6. And the Pacers try to extend the finals to a Game 7. Pacers' valiant, but ultimately futile, efforts, with Haliburton struggling so severely. It was T.J. McConnell who largely led Indiana's rally effort in the third quarter. The backup guard, who has provided repeated sparks for the Pacers throughout the playoffs, lit another fire in the third quarter as Indiana cut Oklahoma City's 14-point halftime advantage down to 85-79 late in the frame. McConnell scored 13 of Indiana's 34 third-quarter points and assisted on 5 more, putting pressure squarely back on a Thunder team that had dominated the first half. That Paycom Center crowd, remembering Game 1, was definitely on edge. Jalen Williams provided some much-needed relief before the start of the fourth. With just 3.4 seconds left in the third, Williams fought through contact from Andrew Nebert and hit a tough, contested floater off the glass to send the Thunder into the fourth quarter with an 87-79 advantage. That critical bucket didn't end the Pacers' rally, but it definitely put it on pause. The start of the fourth quarter then belonged to Pascal Siakam, who scored 12 of Indiana's first 14 points of the stanza, cutting OKC's lead to just 2 points. But the Thunder, thanks to Williams's heroics and a collective defensive effort, never allowed the Pacers to actually take the lead after halftime. They finished the game on a strong flurry, finally thwarting any hope of another Indiana miracle. McConnell finished with 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals in another big game off the Indiana bench. Siakam led the Pacers with 28 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks, but it was his 6 turnovers that, perhaps, better told the story of the Pacers' struggles in this pivotal game. Conclusion. So, the Oklahoma City Thunder are now 1 win away from their first NBA championship since relocating. Jalen Williams has emerged as a legitimate co-star, stepping up in the biggest moment. But the lingering question for the Pacers, and for this series, centers around Tyrese Haliburton's health and his ability to contribute. Can he bounce back in Game 6 on their home floor? Or will the Thunder's relentless pressure and Jalen Williams's continued brilliance be too much to overcome? This series has been wild, and now it stands on the precipice. Get ready for Game 6, because the Thunder are pushing for history, and the Pacers are fighting for their season. Alright, NBA fans, the Oklahoma City Thunder have taken a commanding 3-2 lead in the NBA Finals, defeating the Indiana Pacers 120-109 in a thrilling Game 5. They are now just 1 win away from securing the franchise's first NBA championship in Oklahoma City. The star of the night was undoubtedly Jalen Williams, who exploded for a playoff career-high 40 points, along with 6 rebounds and 4 assists. Williams consistently hit crucial shots to fend off every Pacers rally, including a pivotal 3-pointer in the fourth quarter that pushed OKC's lead back to 5 after Indiana had cut it to just 2. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander also had a big night with 31 points, 10 assists, and 4 blocks, forming a dominant 1-2 punch with Williams. For the Pacers, their rally ultimately fell short, largely due to an off night from star guard Tyrese Haliburton. Haliburton struggled immensely, failing to hit a single field goal and finishing with just 4 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. He left the game briefly in the first quarter with calf tightness, which clearly hampered his performance. His status for Game 6 will be a major storyline. Despite Haliburton's struggles, the Pacers showed incredible resilience. T.J. McConnell provided a huge spark off the bench, leading Indiana's third-quarter comeback with 13 of his 18 points, cutting a 14-point halftime deficit to just 6. Pascal Siakam also tried to lead the charge in the fourth quarter, scoring 12 of Indiana's first 14 points in the stanza and finishing with a team-high 28 points. However, the Thunder's firepower and Williams's heroic performance proved too much, with the series shifting back to Indiana for Game 6. The Pacers will need a healthy Haliburton and a collective effort to force a Game 7. But as it stands, the OKC Thunder are on the brink of glory.